Now we want to just keep to page 1 and learn about container. That's another widget in Flutter, right? So we are going to learn about container basically. Okay, so we've seen column, we've seen rows. Now let's focus on container itself, right? So I'm going to use stateless widgets and do that and put everything at center to for now, because basically we are going to just basically manage things one by one. Where are you? Or let me just create a new screen altogether and make it the home screen. Let me say container dot that. I'm going to teach about container basically. So stateless, right? Stateless. I'm going to call it container screen. Yeah, container screen. And here we know what we are doing. We need to import this, and this is important, and we don't need to import container. We are going to talk about scaffold first, and then yeah, I need my app bar. Let me give a comment. This is the app bar. So app bar, we prepare this screen very well, and then in this app bar I'm going to put title, and the title is going to be the test container lesson. Let's say container lesson. Center title is going to be true, and then that's the center title, right? Then background colors dot yellow. Let me give it a shade of 100. All right, and then inside it I'm going to go to the body, and for the body I will say body center. For the center will put a child, and that child is going to be container. I'm going to put that in the container first. I just start and I'm opening it up down. All right, the body with container at the center basically. All right, so I need to go and submit this name on the main dot that. So I don't want to start with this something screen, right? I want something like container screen, container screen, which is here, and then it will do the import for me automatically. But I'm no more using this import. That's why it's underlined as yellow. I'm now using just container stuff. All right, so I'm going to run this. So yeah, we have container lesson now, container lesson, and right now there's nothing. So you see, let's go back to our container.dat, and I'm going to the body. Inside the body I have container which is open, right? Now what's a container? Container, just yeah, that's the name, container, right? Let's say a gift box that you are going to give to someone, right? So we create a single container. Inside that container, you're going to put items inside, but it comes with different in how to use it. So we are coming to learn how to use the container widget very well. So now it has different arguments as usual, like other widgets. So the first one is basically color. So you can just say like it's creating a just a colored box, right? Colored, so color, right? With color, so we contain colors dots. Let's say red, right? So it's a widget, so we are going to end with comma, right? Let me run this. So you see, the container colors dot red. I'm just creating a container and then calling it, giving it a red color. So that container fill up everything basically. Now, but there's nothing. We didn't give it size. We didn't give you anything by default. We just give it color. So the whole thing, the container takes every other page. The app takes this page, and the rest of the screen colors dot red. Everything becomes red, right? That's what the container does. Now we want to give it. What if you want to limit it and give it size? So we are going to set the width of that container let's say 100, and set the height of the container to let's say 100 again to form a square, right? Let me do R. Yeah, so it's in the center. So you see all that's all the center. We want center to be putting everything in the center for us. If we remove it, then we are going to see it somewhere here, basically. But right now we know what it's doing. So we set the width to 100 and the height to 100. That's what is having they're having here. So we have a small box, a small container with color red and then height 100. That's what basically you're doing. If you remove the height and this, you can see we saw what happened. So that's like a container or a box where you are actually doing stuff to it. Right now, you can give this particular box something, and you can put something inside. This one is just giving the box color and things, but inside the box, you can pass a chart, meaning what should be in the box. Take it like a gift box, right? And that gift box can contain something, right? Hello, dear learner. Or let me say it's a box. So let's take a happy birthday. Happy birthday gifts. So that's what is in the container, right? So let me run this. So you say happy birthday gift is inside the container. You see like that particular text is outside. It's not here. It's not here where we have to worry about safe area, but it is a chart to it's attached to the container. So the container is the one restricting it. If you increase the size of, let me increase the width of the listing to 200, you see it will now expand happy birthday because it needs to be in this container, right? It needs to be in that container. Let me go back to the square. I like the square. Let me work with the square for now. So basically I have this. Okay. So we see that we have a container. We have given the container a color, a height, a width. Before the chart is going to be what is going to be inside the container. We are saying that it's a gift we are giving to the person. So that's what we are doing. Let me go to the width of 200. I think the test is not looking okay for me. Let's keep okay. Let's manage this one. So as usual, right? It can contain just a text, or you can give it different. It can contain multiple things. And anything that contains multiple things should have which widget row or columns are the ones that contain multiple things. So I can go into use column in this case, right? Because column can contain children, right? And that children is going to be so let me say text. Let's release first gift, right? It's a column. So column arranges vertically. So let me say um gifts inside container, right? So I have tests. Let me keep three things inside, right? I'm calling column because I want to have multiple things inside, multiple things inside. First gift, second gift, right? Second gift. You could use row, right? Row and column based on the arrangement that you want. Me, I'm using column. Just have the things this. So I have first gift, second gift, and third gift. They are all inside, right? That's what column and row is doing, right? So now that's nice. That's nice. Um, so now we need to talk worry about you see inside the gift, everything is starting from the start here at the top, right? These are starting from the top here. But what we want to do is that the things inside, we want to control how close they are to the edges. We want to control how close they are to the edges of the box, right? The inner component, the inner space, right? So if you open the box, the space before you actually hit the item or the component is what we are going to worry about. And that thing we call them padding. So we are going back to the container to worry about the padding, right? So this is a column, container, and blah blah blah, right? So I'm going to worry about the padding. So let me go inside here and do padding. Padding is going to be edge insert dot or. So I'm going to give it a value of let's say 20. right? Let me run this. You see, it gives a space between the edge and the gift. So we don't worry about this, but we know that wherever you are, when you want to get close, whatever how close you want to get to the edges, right? To the edges, we don't want you to be we want you to leave a space of 20 pixels. We want you to give like leave a space of 20 pixels no matter what. That's what's going to be happening. 20 pixel and all. So all because like all edges can be the top, bottom, no top, right, bottom, left. So everywhere here we are leaving 20. We are leaving 20. We could. That's what edge dot all is doing. 20% on all edges. Or you can decide to specify them. This is for all, right? You can change instead of doing all, you can focus on some. You can say only some positions, right? So I want to be left. The left should be like 10, and then the top should be like 5, 5 pixels, right? So I'm doing R. You see the top, I'm just leaving small. Like if it is the left one, you have seen. So for the top, I can also increase it to 10. It's only top and left, right? It's only top and the left side, this side. But then because the thing, my items are not many like that, that's why we are seeing them this way. Or should I work with rules? Let me go to rule. Instead of this thing, right? Let me just change it to rule. So that maybe we see it from that perspective. Now it's row wise, it's too much. So what is happening is that there is the items are more than the this thing. We'll talk about that thing later, right? What is inside as is requiring a space that is more than the container. That's what we are doing. That's what's happening. I'll worry about it later. Right. So right now, let me just for that reason, let me just comment this guy out. Just make sure that the size I give. So first give, second gives, right? So basically that's what's happening. And to make things more distinct, let me remove the center. Let me see. So you see, remove this widget. I'm removing the editors. I'm doing R. So now first gives, second gives. Basically, that's what's happening. So at the edge two we are having, or do we like? I think I like the center one. Yes, so you see, that's how we do it. I'm just using it to explain from scratch what I've been doing instead of yeah, focusing on it. So that's those are the various changes that can apply, right? Now, first gifts and second gifts, they are close, right? You will not see it right now because we haven't talked about how to put space between two things. We'll talk about them later. But then what we want to do at this row, we can say space evenly. If I do space evenly, it's not going to it's the reason why we are learning this. I will not put space now. So you see this first gift and second gift. I can put space, manual space between them. Or I can tell the row to arrange them for me in a particular way. But I want to show the concept of the edges things for you guys. So now this is okay. Or we are going to do symmetric, right? Is instead of this S container only, right? Instead of doing only, there is something called symmetry. And then what the symmetric does is this go horizontal, right? We're 15 and vertical. You know what you mean, right? So between the rows and column, right? Things are going to be symmetrical around that. So you not see the effects right now. We might need other examples, but based on the visual things that you want for your app, can symmetric horizontally. So you have everything here horizontally. This one will be symmetric to the one here. The one here will be symmetric to the one. How you want to arrange the things in the container. That's what we are doing. So symmetric. No, we're talking about padding, right? Padding is getting symmetric horizontally, meaning that top and left, like horizontally 15 here, 15 here. Top and down is going to be like 10 here, 10 here at the edges because padding is about the space between the edges and the content. Padding is the space between the edges and the content of the container. Inner space, the inner space from the edges. That's what this thing is doing. So whatever is inside should be pushed. The horizontal is about left and right. The vertical is about top and down. So top and down are going to be given a space of 10, 10, and the left and right are going to be given a space of 15, 15 from the edges. That's what these horizontal and symmetric things mean. So you can work with only, so you can manually choose it to based on your thing. All right. So now this is about inner space. What we've done right now is about the inner space, right? Now we are going to, I'm going to comment this thing and have this thing down here, right? It's gone back to this. Now that's the inner space. What about the outer space? Meaning that this is a container itself. You want this container, right? This container itself to, before, to give us there should be a space between this container and any other thing around it. Any other thing around it. Any other thing around it should have a different. So for that reason, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put this container in another container. Right, so I'm going to call it wrap with container. Where's container? No, so wrapping column. Okay, let me wrap this thing again with another container of bigger height. Basically, don't worry about this. I'll give that color, that outer color dot blue, right? I'm going to give that first container a height of 300 and a width of 200. Let me see, is that the width is 200? So let me go to 300 here, and the height was 100 here, so let me go to 200 here. Okay, let me do R. So the concept that is happening here, this guy is blue, so this container is taking the full size of the mother container, right? So you have a mother container, right? And then you have a mother container that's having 200 and 100, and you have an inner container that is of size 200 and 100, right? This size is smaller than the one outside, and the color for the first one is blue, the one inside is red. So I'm going to give a margin, right? Edge insets dot or of 20. So this is what's happening. For the margin is the space between the container and the things outside of it, and the thing outside of it. So what happened is that whatever is in the container, right? This first container is the larger one, right? But you see, though we give size to this one, whenever, what it means that whatever you have in a container, right, that the children will occupy the full size of the mother. That's what container does, because the children would like to occupy all the space for the mother. That's what they want to do naturally, right? So that's why this container is also trying to capture the original size. But then by using the concept of the margin, we are able to see how far. So I can move this one to the inner one to 40, right? The inside it gets smaller. It gets smaller because I'm giving that margin around everywhere, right? And this one is squeezing more. It's squeezing more. That's what the margin does. But the edge is the padding inside. The inside one is talking about the space inside the container itself, right? So space around it. Let's remove the other container. Remove this widget. Then we are good. Then we are good. Let's go back to what we know, what we had first. So that's what the margin does. So you can use both margin and distance based on the whatever concept you are, either outside or inside or whatever. You know what you are doing. Um Yes. So basically, this is about that. Just height, color, and distance, and the children and how they work, margin and padding, right? But then there is another popular one that we are going to use. I'm going to clean this thing. We have the container. I want to delete this container for now and start again with something here. So we know about those things. I'm going to chart for the center is going to be a container again. And then inside that container, just remember this one I need to end with comma. Now inside that container, we are not going to use those color separately again. We are going to call special thing called decoration. Decoration, and we are going to say box decoration, right? Yes. So instead of entering the listing on them their own, we are going to box decoration. Box decoration allow us to do more decorations on the container than how we have entered it individually, color and stuff. So box decoration is more like color, right? I'm going to colors blue. With box decoration, you can do more action than entering it. You are club down color here, right? This is what happened first. Colors dot blue. This is what happened first, right? This is going, it's not good. This is not good. There's an error. There's an error because this one is not needed. If you are using box decoration already, you don't need to separately specify the distance. Box decoration will take care of all that, right? So if I do R, you see box decoration, I didn't give height and anything yet, right? So I can, this is the box decoration. Let me go back for this container. Let me give a chart of test, and then let's say container gift, container gift, basically. So right, if you're using box decoration, let me do R. So container gift. So we didn't specify the size. We didn't specify anything. We didn't do anything much. So what's happening is that the container is not having height and on its own. So the container is actually going to adjust based on the size of the child, right? Based on the size of the child, based on the child of the child. If it doesn't have any child, it will occupy everywhere. But if it has something in the child, it's going to just adjust based on the size of the child. That's what the container is doing in this case because the container we didn't specify a particular size for it yet. If you want your um, container to have this color blue right now, the edges are like, how do you call it? They are just sharp. They are very sharp, but we want to make it rounded. That's why we needed this guy, right? You can call it. You can call the border radius, and have border radius, border radius dot circular radius of 15, and I'm good. I'm going to put the border radius of 15 around that. So I do R. So you see, it's now no more, it's now shy like in the corner. Very well, right? Let me give it size, right? Width and this thing are outside. This is the decoration. They're just decorating. So let me do width of one, no, what did we do? 200, and a height of, I think, 100. That's what we did first. All right. So yeah, so that's what's happening. Like edge here and the edge here and the edge here and the edge here. If you don't bring this border radius of the container, right? So let's see what we had first. Everything is just sharp, very sharp, right? So what we'll do is that if when we remove it, we can see the effect to be everywhere rounded. This container thing is not nice. What do we do? What should we do? We need to leave out a padding, right? Right. Um yeah, so that's the border radius, the radius of the border, right? The border radius here. I want to also do something like border. I want to put a color of the border. This one, I'm just decorating the border. So it's a border or everywhere around the border dot or right. Here is about taking time to just decorate a particular container. We are just decorating a particular container. So for that border, let's color. This one is color for the border, right? Colors dot green, right? So yes, and then the width of the border, that border that let's say width of 3, right? So let's run this and see. Please give us green. Let me make the border this two size bigger. The width of 400 and a height of 200. Let's double the size. So you see, it's too close to the edges. So yeah, so I have a width of green. Let me do yellow for the yellow to be more visible. Yellow, maybe yellow will show more. Let me see. Hey, the yellow. Yeah, that's I mean like that's the edges of the border, right? That's what we do. Maybe you can do other things like shadow, give shadow to the um box, right? Now this thing is too much in the edge here. So what I will do is I'll tell the container to align its children in the center. So I'll do alignment. So I'll do alignment. No, not XY. I'm just going to see the center. We are learning from the basics first, dot center. So it means that I want it to the center. So the children should be aligned in the center. That's what container gives you. That's what we are telling the container to align the children in the center. That's what it does now. And yeah, so yeah, that's how to set it. Or you can use your margins and you can use your everything, wherever you want to place it. I can place this one instead of being at the center. I can be. It is already at top left, right? This is by default top left already, right? I'm going to be top right, top right, top center, right? The top center. This one you change it based on how you want your things to look like. The top center, right? And then maybe center left, center left. That's the top center left. You're going to come to the center side. This is the center. It's going to so then center left, center right. So center. This is center, not center center. Center right, center right. Then here we have bottom left, bottom center, bottom right, based on how you want your things to be arranged, right? Center left, center right. Right. So you just control that and then the app you don't have to worry about div and things. So we have bottom center based on how you want to place your things, right? I cannot decide how you want it to be. You decide how the things should be for you, and it is there already, right? That's how we can use these basic guys. Now for the width, right? Whatever we are using width and height, maybe I want this width to take the full screen. So I'll do infinity, double dot infinity, right? What's happening? It's going to the width is going to take the full screen that you have at that moment. It's going to take the full screen of that moment. Double dot infinity. That's what the container is going to say. The container is going to provide a width that's going to take the full screen, right? Let me change it back to what it was, 400, and let's talk about the height. So double dot infinity as well for the height. Let's see what we have. So you take height wise, it takes the whole height. I can change this one to 100, right? The width to 100. So the width is 100, but the height is See, the height is taking all the pages, right? If I don't do that, I can also use all double dot infinity. It takes the full screen available and for full space available. So now it are taking the full space available, right? The same. This is the same as not even giving them at all. If you don't provide these two at all, you get the same thing. So you get the same thing, right? If you don't provide them at all, that's what's going to happen. But yeah, let's give them give our original values to get back what we were using. Yeah, so this is what we had originally, and we are good to go to get the full height and then full everything. You need to keep in mind that's how we do our stuff. So you can work on box shadow, right? To give the shadow of the card and things. But it's beginning stuff, so let's just keep it simple and going one at a time. So we've learned how to use a container widgets here.